Attention, consistency, authenticity.
We're River and Fort, downtown St. Augustine, right across the street from the Castillo de San Marco. I thought it was Fort Menendez, but it's not.
That's some view.
But we're live downtown. So this is a brand new restaurant. Quick story before we get started. We're here with Lexi and Lawrence. Lawrence Cipollone, Lexi Sohoyas, two of our big guns in St. Augustine. And quick story before we get started. So I came here when this opening weekend. I was like, oh, I'm going to come shoot content. And we were supposed to have a happy hour, and then it like fizzled out, right? So I show up here. I get one drink at the bar and give them my card. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to leave it open. People are showing up, whatever. I thought I closed it out. Didn't. Left my card. I'm like, my debit card, it's gone, right? I'm like, whatever, it's gone. Haven't seen it. I keep looking at my bank account. No money's missing. I'm like, I didn't think it was here. I'm just like, it's somewhere. I must have fallen asleep in my car. The manager brought it over right now.
Just now?
I just got it back. I just posted on my Instagram story because she literally brought my card over.
Oh my God.
I was like, I left my card here. Like, would you guys have it? Like, no way they
Did you
had.
cancel the card?
No, because my mortgage is linked to it, like my Spotify. There's so many things like linked to it. I didn't want to cancel it because I didn't want to find out after the fact of like, oh, I didn't pay this. I didn't pay this. So I was like, I kept looking at it. I'm like, no weird charges. Like I honestly thought it was just maybe somewhere like fell down my car, like in my car, like anything, right?
That's good stuff.
So I'm like, this is the last place I knew I had it. And she rolls in with it. I'm like, we're setting this up, and she just throws it on the table. I'm like, get the out of here.
That's funny.
But,
incredible.
Yeah, literally wild. So anyway, River and Fort, super accommodating. So
It's a nice
Lawrence,
place.
yeah, Lawrence, you've done one of these before, so you
Yeah.
kind of know how we rap, talk about, where you're from, what brought you down here. So let's start with kind of Lexi. And great story about you that you don't, it's not like a great story. It's just like, so we just did the Best in Biz, right? No one knew how to say your last name.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody. So I'm like trying to look up the pronunciation online, and mistakenly I punched it. I thought I was just in regular Google, but I was in my Google Drive.
Huh.
I didn't know you were a scholarship person.
Yeah.
That's how I found out. Is I saw your scholarship video
my
when
God,
it
the
came
video?
in through this edition, and you said your last name.
Yeah.
And literally Matt and I looked at each other like, that does. All right.
I was going to say you did it perfectly just now.
Yeah, because you said it in your video.
Yeah.
Because even my dad, when he saw you came across his like LinkedIn, was like, "How do you say Lexi's last name?" And I was just like, "No idea." And then we nailed it. Yeah. So kind of tell us where you're from, give us a little history about yourself, etc.
I'm from Boca originally. I was born
Rock
in
and
Boca,
roll.
but I moved everywhere. I lived in California, New York, New Hampshire, North Carolina, and then I came back here for college. So I love Florida.
Right on. Okay. All right. So what you moved? Military family or?
Car dealership.
Yeah. Okay. So that makes sense. That's why you're a hustler.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely, everybody kept saying Lexi's a silent ninja, silent ninja, silent ninja. Now we know why, because we know plenty of people who came from the car business here.
Right.
Always kill it.
Yeah.
Always kill it. How was the shift from car to homes? Was it different? You're selling still high price point?
Well, I never got in the car business. My dad was in the car business. and that's what moved us
okay.
around.
Wow.
But I mean, I was always looking at homes with my parents. I mean, we were house hunting
Right.
like every weekend. I lived in 16 homes by the time I was 10.
Okay.
So, real estate's super familiar to
Super
me.
familiar. Super familiar. So you came to, how did you go to UNF?
I went to UF.
UF.
Gainesville.
Ooh, Gainesville.
Yeah.
A little bit west. Love it. So how was Gainesville? So I've been out there. I've never been like out there partying or like to a game. I toured it like when I was looking at school. I was like, this place is, it's like like the school is like a city in itself.
Yeah. The whole city revolves around the school. So if you're not in college, it's not as great. But when you're in college, I mean, it's awesome there.
Yeah, I mean, literally, like, I'll never forget this. We're standing on the road. We're going somewhere, I don't know. And bicycle cops are riding by, and they see we're a giant tour. They're like, go Gators. We're like, the cops are even involved in this. I'm like, this is just one big.
It's a huge party town.
Yeah, it's huge. I'm like, but it's all like connected, right? They're all like everyone. It's just like everybody's a go Gators,
cool.
right?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because the state is divided into Gators, the Hurricanes, and the Florida State.
My mom's
That's
a
it.
Knoll.
House divided.
Yeah.
How was that like?
It's all right. I mean, I wrote for them when they're not against UF.
Right.
You know?
I mean, so how did that come about? You're like, Mom, I'm going to UF.
I mean, I got into FSU. I went to the campus. I wasn't a big fan of Tallahassee.
Tally's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
It's multiple tastes, but it's acquired.
I've never been there.
It's interesting. I played ball there. I've never like vacationed there or just visited there. But we played some ball there. I played ball in college, so like I bounced all over the place. But anyway, so then you come here, you come to UF. How did you get as far east to here? Or you were just like, I'm always going to go there when I'm done? Or
Actually, my mom moved here,
okay.
and I was visiting her all the time. I mean, I love the area. I was tired of Gainesville, wanted to change, so I just picked up and moved here.
Rock and roll. All right. So how did you find the scholarship program?
I worked retail, and I absolutely hated it. So
you're not the only person that hates it. So
yeah, it's awful. I mean, it's great when you're starting, but to stay there, it's terrible. And I literally hated my job so much. I was just like on Indeed all the time, and I saw DJ&Lindsey's ad for the scholarship program, and I was like, I think I could do real estate. Might as well.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, rock and roll. So yeah, I saw your scholarship. When I say I saw your scholarship video, I built the infrastructure, so that's why it was in my Google Drive. And then, I saw you sitting there. I'm like, Lexi Sahoyas. Okay, that makes sense. So I didn't watch the rest of it, but like that was your pitch. You're like, hey, I'm in retail. Like I can, sell anything, whatever it is. Okay, I'm a hustler.
Exactly.
All right. How long did it take you to get through the school program, et cetera? Like,
I think it took me 3 weeks.
Okay, so by the time you submitted your thing, you weren't in school, real estate school yet.
No.
You were applied, then you're like, okay, they said I'm good to go, and I went.
Yeah, I came and met Megan, and then started my classes.
Rock and roll. All right, cool. How long? So when you started, what month did you start? How long you been here so far?
May of last year.
Okay, so we're over a year.
Yeah.
Right on. So how long did it take you to kind of like catch fire?
Probably till December. So it was like 7 months. I think I sold like 7 homes in 7 months. And then December, it just like popped off. I think I had like 8 under contract in December alone. Yeah,
it was, I remember when we were putting even the Best in Biz together, it was Brittany who kind of like brought you on our radar as to like, Lexi is a straight up silent ninja. Like I think we even said that when Matt and I were doing the live stream with the wheel. We said that we're like, this is a sleeper pick in this office. Like not many people are going to peg her.
She beat me.
But no, people didn't peg that, right? They're just like, you're not like a loud person in the office. You like, even when I was there the other day, you're just like aviators on the phone, headphones in the computer, like dialed in.
Just get right to work.
That's it. I mean, but that's one of the things we're going to talk about further is like how you carry yourself, do you keep a schedule? Are you are you a creature of habit, et cetera? Because that's what a lot of people, especially now, I mean, people get into real estate because they're like, I want to do whatever I want and sell homes. You guys are both the epitome of that is not the case.
No.
So obviously you guys have this minor team thing happening.
Yeah.
Did that come naturally? Or you're like, yo, Lexi sells a ton of homes. You're like, Lawrence sells a ton of homes. Yeah. How did the whole, hey, let's kind of get this listing thing figured out?
Well, I think we just didn't want to really like walk into a listing appointment and like feel like we were missing something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's always good to like go in there and make sure you nail it under any circumstance. And if having like a partner with you means like that extra little balance, whether it's, a single woman or, just a family, whatever, older people, there's 2 people that can relate.
Absolutely.
And if one of them can't relate, then
that's golden. Cause I mean, now real estate is insanely cutthroat, right? Yeah. I mean, like, and we have such a strange model to where we, like, hey, here's this customer, here's that customer, like, who can do this? Like, that almost never happens in the outside world when it comes to real estate. It's like, hey, this is my customer, back off.
Yeah.
But that's forward thinking to be able to be like, hey, at this point, I need to be able to service these people the best I can. Yeah. So I'm going to partner with somebody who is, would you guys say you're alike or would you very different?
When it comes to, I think when it comes to people, I'm like a little bit more like, I'll just talk to anybody. She might be a little bit more reserved.
If you guys weren't here, I'd still be doing a podcast to nobody. I literally could talk the ears off of death.
He's more of a talker. I'm more of a listener. So I feel like you get the best of both worlds.
There you go.
Yeah, sure. Because he's talking and you're like, they didn't say that at all. So I don't know what you're.
It's true.
Yeah. No, I think we're Northeast. We're that New York, New Jersey, tri-state area. You find yourself, I mean, even just going in and out of the city, you find yourself constantly surrounded by strangers. So if you're not comfortable talking to a stranger, you're not going to talk to anybody. And they just grow up doing that. It's just super easy.
It's true.
But it's an acquired taste. So again, that's super kind of smart that you see like, okay, she's great at yeah.
I mean, I got that. I feel like I got that from my mom. I mean, she would be in the store, wherever it would be, and she would just be like talking to like whoever it would be.
Yeah, just
I mean, it doesn't matter. You got to just wheel and deal it, and like that's real estate.
Right.
Truthfully.
Yeah. So now, again, minor partnership. You guys still handle completely own business on the outside of just listings alone.
Yeah.
Do you find yourselves helping each other out on that side too? Like, hey, you know, can you open the store? Or like, hey, I'm tied up here. You guys always pass stuff back and forth?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So that's cool. You guys can rely.
I set an appointment for her today.
Yeah.
There you go.
Even for like advice with deals, like he helps me all the time with stuff. Like he helped me keep things under contract. So he'll be like, why don't you say this to somebody? All the time.
True.
Which is great because that's just our general model in itself, right? Like that's just how we work. It's like, hey, always. That's why we have people come into the office. You're talking to people. You're getting more comfortable, understanding what other people are going through.
You have a lot of walls to just bounce off of. You know what I mean?
Right. Like,
That's
could you think, like, obviously now you guys
In
are
a good
comfortable enough to call him and be like, hey, this is what's going on. But, like, could you imagine if you were just like, I'm an agent in this office. I'm never in the office. I'm never talking to anybody. I'm the main thing that's happening right now with this deal and hope he has the magic potion.
I think anybody in the office could do that. I mean, there's people in the office that, you know, call me or I call them. You know what I'm saying?
Is so important.
Definitely
It is. And
I
we're
mean,
not like, we're not all against each other either. Like, we're all trying to help each other.
Yeah,
it's
for
like
sure.
we
Big
have
time.
so much coming at us that we don't have to be like, oh, this is my customer. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Big
we're all
time.
very helpful for each other.
Big time. So that's awesome that you guys just pass knowledge, experience back and forth anyway. And you experience. So have either of you gone into a listing appointment alone to where you're like, this was a bad idea?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, maybe, I don't think so. Not yet. Maybe I just don't have enough experience, but I kind of wanted to just nip it quick.
Right.
Because the market's shifting. Like, more people want to sell their homes.
Sure.
And like I said, just to get any little ounce of advantage is, I think
we can both handle listing appointments on our own. I mean, we've definitely done it.
Yeah.
But just to have the extra advantage to go in there and say, like, there's a 100% chance I'm going to get this appointment when I'm with my partner.
For sure.
Big time. Scott and Lauren were the same way. That was kind of the first time that I heard that. Scott's like, yeah, you know, like somebody just might like not jive with me. Like they'll jive with Lauren. And it's just that much easier to show them that, like, we're not a one-person show, right? There's so much other stuff happening because I don't want to say her name, but one of our agents was telling us a story. She goes into a listing appointment and mentioned how much we do with data and, like, how much we literally, like, the reason why you would work with us is because we're going to pre-market your listing to people we know are looking for something like that.
Yeah.
And the woman, like, flipped out in a bad way. She's like, they're listening to us. And she's like, what? We're not tracking you. We're just saying, like, we have more information on people looking to buy in this area. Yeah. And the woman was just, like, not feeling it. She didn't know how to, like, really even recover from it. She's like, I'm just going to see myself out. Just, like, split because she's like, this woman just like, was not inconsolable. Is the word I'm looking for. Like, literally. And the husband was like, I'm so sorry. She just gets like this. She's like, it's cool. I'm good. Like, we're fine. You call me if you want me back here.
Sometimes you get some crazy people. Hey, listen, that's part of the job.
Well, she's like, I just
you meet everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
From all different parts of life. I mean, you meet everybody.
Right.
It's a cool job, man. I mean.
Right.
It really is.
What are some? I was gonna say. So that's one of the pros, right? You get to meet so many different people. You're bringing so many people to the state. So somebody who bounced around a lot. Do you find yourself like becoming a liaison for like hey, where's a good place to do this, or hey, where's a good place to that? Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, people ask for our advice all the time on everything.
Even
where should we go to lunch?
Post closing too. Do you guys keep in contact with those people?
For sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, I think that, like, if you're not doing that, especially with the amount of homes we sold in the past year, like if you're not trying to like harness back at least, you know, a relationship with these people.
And not only that, it's weird too, because you talk to these people almost every day for whether it's 30, 60, 90 days, because you might be nurturing from them for a while, but you talk to them every day. It's almost like they're like your friend or family to a certain extent.
People do say that. It's like almost bittersweet when you close because you're like, technically I don't like need to keep talking to these people, but like, I'm going to miss you guys.
I'm used to it.
True.
I'm used to texting you every day.
They're good people, man. I mean, anybody I've ever helped, they're good people. I love helping good people.
Yeah, right. And I think it says a lot about both of you guys too, that it's very easy to come across those strange characters we were just talking about.
Yeah.
But to be able to like feel this little bit of sadness when the closing happens.
You just see, it's beyond that. You know what I mean? They need a house.
Right.
Like they need help. They like literally need you. Like if they're relying on you like every day. Like I have somebody right now. Her kids are, they just got accepted into the deaf and blind school over here. She's moving to Miami from, up here.
Right.
And it's, it's tough for her right now. I mean, we're looking at a certain price point, but she's like really relying on me. I mean, I'm checking the properties for her every single day, 3 times a day. Like if something pops up, gotta grab it. Like, dude, you're really on it for people. Like she needs to be close to her kids. So.
Well, and that's the good point about our team too, is that she knows you're looking for a property like that. I'm sure there's 10 other people in the office that also know you're looking for a property like that. So yes, she's got you in her corner, but she's also got the weight of 100 agents in her corner knowing you're looking for this type of property, especially if we have one off market that's coming soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Her to have a crack at that. And that's really what I've been trying to hone in on a lot is when we get listings, it's not like this, hey, get the listing agreement signed, it's like, hey, get that stuff done so we can get this to as many guys as possible, as soon as possible, because it's still a hungry market, and
for sure.
Pricing is what's going to matter. And if our pre-market sphere doesn't sniff that because it's out of a price point, pretty good chance the rest of the market's also going to say the same thing.
The pre-market's so key. I mean, we just sold one off market. I had buyers. It was so unfortunate. They were a young couple. They had great jobs, great credit, but unfortunately didn't have a lot of cash. They're young, but in early 20s, so they're trying to put a 5% down payment down. No one would take their offer. He had a seller, wanted to sell her house. It was the perfect home for them. Didn't even have to take pictures of it. I mean, it was perfect. They got a steal, and then they walked into $20,000 in equity.
That's awesome.
Off market, didn't have to
And that's
compete.
what it's about. It's finding these people homes so that they can start their lives, move on, do whatever it is that they're doing. That's incredible. So let's talk stats. Where are we at right now? So we're just over a year in. What was your year goal?
40 for this year.
Where were we at on that?
32 closed and pending.
Crazy.
But I came in with like 5 closing that month, so I mean I don't want to count those.
That's crazy. Where are we at? We spoke. It was only Christmas time when we last spoke. So
I mean, my goal was 60 this year. I'm at like 38.
Okay. We're
almost there.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get close.
Yeah, I was gonna say 38. You're more than we're more than halfway through the year, and you're more than halfway through your goal.
I have confidence.
So but I mean, 60 families helped 40. I mean, that's crazy. It's 100 homes between the two of you. It is incredible.
Yeah.
Because especially in this market, to be able to sustain those numbers. Coming back 2 years ago, let's even say 12 months ago, where people were like, I'm going to sell 50 homes. It's like you could stick a sign in the yard and the home was going to sell. It was just a matter of like, how many offers did you want to look through before you were like, let's just pick this one? So to sustain those numbers is impressive. I mean, I said it before. When I called you, I was like, man, these guys are really working. I called them.
I was working. I was just showing a house.
That's it.
I just showed 4 homes, man. I here by the skin of my teeth.
That's incredible. So we're working towards our goal. That's business-wise. Let's talk personal lives.
Yeah.
What sort of things you guys want to see in your own personal life? Vacation more? Take more time? Are you trying to golf? You're trying. What is it?
Yeah, vacation definitely.
Definitely a vacation.
Take a vacation soon. I think we want to go to maybe the Keys.
Yeah, a lot lot of people have been going to the Keys.
Everyone in the office has gone to the Keys this year.
Everyone's been going to the Keys.
I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, and we're not even like, so general timeline is like BC, right? BC and AD. I call BC before COVID. So, but people are going to the Keys now, and I mean, we're after COVID, so to speak. But yeah, I think DJ&Lindsey were just in the Keys. Coral. Who else was just down there?
Katie and Lindsay.
I know Wes is always down
Alan
there.
was just down there.
Wes
We have a lot of big players that were just down in the Keys. So I think the Keys are calling your name.
Yeah.
Listen, it seems like a good spot. I don't know.
Yeah.
Get a little boat, do a little Airbnb action.
You don't need a passport?
No.
None of that. Yeah, there was a funny story about the Keys. This is 3 years ago now. A good friend of mine was getting married, and they had like an all-inclusive resort in the Keys. It was like apparently one of the first all-inclusive resorts. Books his honeymoon there, place burns down. They rebuild it, gave him a credit. They're like, so we can either refund you or you could just like come back when it's built. So they're either just went or they're going on it now 3 years after their wedding because they're like.
Did he get the premium rate?
I think he booked early because it was like not
They
open.
rebuilt the whole thing?
Rebuilt. Wow. Yeah. I don't know what it's called, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, place literally burnt to the ground because when I saw him at the wedding, he literally told me that story. He's like, because I didn't know that's where they were going. I was like, so of course, go to a wedding. First thing you're like, hey, where's the honeymoon? He's like, burnt down. I'm like, what? It's like, place burnt to the ground. Yeah, straight to the ground. So yeah, it's incredible. So we're gonna do a little bit of vacationing. How about purchasing properties?
Yeah,
for ourselves.
I mean, DJ just talked me off the ledge like I was a buyer the other day.
Yeah,
yeah, and he made me feel like an idiot almost.
Really?
In a good way. Because you know what? Yes, educationally, in a good way, of course. But here's the thing, right? I was talking to him like I'm like a buyer. Like, I really felt like a buyer when I was talking to him, and like, I can't wait to put myself in those shoes.
Right.
I think I'm starting to be in those shoes.
Soon?
Yeah, very soon. I mean, hopefully that would be cool. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And when I say that, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm just complaining about like the monthly payment and then the taxes and then this and then that.
Investment or residence? It would be where you live, or it'd be an investment?
It would be where I live, my primary. Like, you know, you want to hit a home run like everybody else. I don't think the market's there anymore to really hit home runs.
Which is great, but that's great to know. And when it's your own money at stake, you want it to happen, and it doesn't. What about you? Anything on your horizons? You're gonna?
Yeah, I want to buy. I also want an investment property.
Yeah.
I got my eye on that.
I dig that.
Yeah, just gotta wait for the right thing to come up.
That's it. You guys are the first people to know it too.
Yeah, no, it's definitely true. I mean, we're gonna have a little inside scoop. That feels good, and that's kind of what he was telling me. He was like, listen, you know, like, you got an inside track on this whole thing. Like, you know, use it to your advantage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you come across
when a property comes up,
really cool opportunities every day where, you know, a lot of people look. They want to invest in X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Whereas, you know, you're an expert in this. Take it into your own hands is basically what it's saying to me.
Yeah.
And bet on me. Bet on Lawrence.
But it becomes emotional when it's yours.
Yes.
So you maybe like try and turn a blind eye to something. You're like, well, it's just the roof, right? You're like, right? Now it's more real, but you're like, I want this house. It's crazy to put yourself in those shoes. So that's exciting that you both have that on your horizon. It's obviously a good goal to have and a good position to be in.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So I think we're going to hang out, grab a drink. Got it. All right, rock and roll. Yes. Well, what's going on? We are at River and Fort here in downtown St. Augustine. Right behind us, the Castillo de San Marco. We're looking right at the water. This place is absolutely gorgeous. I'm sitting here with Chelsea and Derek. You are the general manager here? Yes. And you are the head chef here?
Yes, the executive chef.
Love that. Well, you guys, first of all, let me say thank you, because you guys have been insanely hospitable. You guys are so accommodating. This is insane to have us here, dinner hour. It's incredible. So let's talk a little background about River and Fort. Obviously, sister restaurant, River and Post.
Right.
When did kind of this come about and like things started moving forward?
Sure, I'll let Derek answer that as he was.
So River and Fort started all the way back about 2 years ago.
Okay, wow.
And, you know, it's something that really there was a lot of red tape to get done, but the city was super accommodating.
Yes.
A lot of the local businesses as well were super accommodating. And it took about 2 years to come to where we are now.
Wow, that's wild. Yeah, because River and Post is just as beautiful as this, right? It's all about scenery. Is that something that you guys, as behind the scenes and restaurateur, is that something you know that you'd like look forward to? You're like, hey, the location is just as important as what's on the menu.
Absolutely. And I think that had a lot to do with the decision making of making River and Fort what it is, solely based on where it's located. You know, the things that they took into consideration solely relies on the fort being behind us. You know, almost every single seat in this restaurant has a window, a view, or an outside ambiance and effect. No matter where you are, it's a great view. So
yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. And obviously, you guys spared zero expense when it came to the Spanish-style architecture and Spanish influence.
We went over budget.
Right.
But it's not like it went to waste.
How
I mean,
could
this
you
place
not?
is gorgeous.
Right.
I mean, even down to the tabletops, the exposed wood is incredible. Was there kind of like any famous name on the designing of this, or was it very much in-house?
We did use a local designer who has been doing a lot of things around Jacksonville and in the area, and so they had a big part. Our two owners and managing partners, they really had a vision, and they set it out there and nailed it home. Jeff especially, and working with Bob, they had the vision and they went with it. And man, it's incredible. And sometimes, it's like it's hard to look up. You're in here day to day. You're in here 60 hours, and it's like when you do things like this, we're just as grateful because it gives us that. Wow, like we are really part of something so incredible.
Yeah.
And honestly, we tried to stay local as much as possible.
Yeah.
Obviously the owners, as well as Chelsea and myself, were well traveled. So we brought a lot of influences from around the world.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's so well done. It's not like an eyesore, right? Everyone, especially in St. Augustine, is so worried about eyesores. It's gonna stick out. It's gonna be a turd in a punch bowl. This place looks like it's been here since 1545.
Right. Yeah.
It's incredible, and there's only a little bit of exterior footprint that you guys built. I mean, you built like the whole outside, but this was all original building, right?
For the most part, it was all here. The footprint was here. It was just definitely tweaked. There were some businesses here before us that had kind of the same setup.
Right.
But
and we definitely, we took out some walls and things like that as well. So,
but yeah, no, I saw this thing going up. The location was always just like a gold mine. I'm like, it's so beautiful, right on the corner. It's beautiful. I'm so happy it went to just a restaurant group that knew what to do with it.
yeah, thank you.
One of the best things about the design and the construction process or the build-out process, everything flows. Before when you came in to this location, there were, a few businesses here, and they all had their own separate little space.
Right.
Now, from one end to the other end, it just flows. There's synergy, the energy here, the vibe. This building's alive when we're open.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking at it. It's alive. Quick story before we get into the drinks that I have to tell because obviously you played a big part of it. So I was here opening weekend, February. We were supposed to have a crew here. The weather, it was just like this, but then turned immediately awful.
Yeah.
I ordered a drink at the bar, and I must have just not closed out because I don't know what happened. But I left. I couldn't find my debit card. This is how hospitable this place is, you guys. We're 5.5, 6 months later.
Yeah, February was our opening.
I just shot in the dark. I'm like, you think my debit card's here? Like, no way it's here. Like, just jokingly.
It sure was.
I'm sitting here setting up, throws the card down on the table. My card was still here.
Right.
How many debit cards you guys keep on file back there?
We have a few. We have a few back there for sure. But, you keep throwing around the word hospitality in here, and that's just what it is. It's, every person that walks in the door, it doesn't matter who, I don't know you from Adam. And of course, we treat everybody that same way. And so, that goes a long way and it really shows. And
you're not kidding. We walked in here, you came down, we had never spoken, met each other. And it's literally like you're treating me like we've known each other forever.
Yeah.
You guys are great. All right, let's get into this. So what are we looking at here? Let's go from right to left.
Sure. So we decided to feature some of our local, bourbons, gins, vodkas, things. So we have the Augustinian, which is amazing. It's going to be the St. Augustine gin from the distillery here in town. It has, it's like your gin and tonic. So it has a pink peppercorn syrup, which is kind of fun, and then tonic to top it off. We also did the St. Augustine Distillery bourbon, but what they do is finish it off in a port barrel, so it gives it that really cool, like deep winey flavor.
Yes.
Classic cocktail there. We have the Cannonball Cocktail, which we take sage, infuse it with tequila overnight. So we sage infuse our tequila, put it with a little passion fruit. It also has Ancho Verde liqueur, so it's like a green pepper liqueur to give it some bite. Little spice, little heat, like a spicy margarita.
My favorite.
Yeah, I'm a big tequila guy, so I'm gonna dive into all of them. But that's
the manifestation's really good too because that is our Jacksonville Distillery manifest, and
cool.
we do that with a creme de violet, and also has a prosecco top, so it's going to give you the bright and bubbly and all that good stuff.
Now, so these are obviously we talked about very local to St. Augustine.
Right.
Do some of these bounce back and forth to River and Post, or these are very exclusive River and Fort drinks?
These are here for the most part. Our manifest, kind of similar to one that we do at Post, that's very very popular. They do theirs just a little bit differently, but all of our specialty cocktails meals here. All of our menu creation, everything we did was for St. Augustine and for the location here. So while we have our sister restaurant, we are local to this city, and we're
That's
here.
what's spectacular about it is it's not like you guys just built a beautiful building and then just threw the same menu items down here. I think that's what's really great is like there's signature things that are happening just here.
Something I do want to touch on, too, is we were talking about the building and location, and I was thinking earlier that say you were to be here for a week straight and you came here 7 nights in a row, every night would be a different experience depending on what you did. If you were on the 3rd floor rooftop for a cocktail and an appetizer, we have a wood-fired pizza kitchen that does flatbreads and pizzas. It's a separate menu out there. I did not know that. Wow. And then if you were to have dinner at the bar, if you were to be in the garden, if you were to sit on Kuna Street, if you were to have a group of people in the dining room up here, every night you could come and do something different, lunch or dinner. So it's kind of a really fun vibe that
Absolutely.
you could be on repeat here and never feel the same.
Right. The vision was to keep the same, energy and vibe of our sister concept.
Right.
They're very modern, contemporary, but at the same time classic in some sense.
Absolutely.
Upscale but approachable. We wanted to bring that same vision here, but in a new way. So that's what we really tried to do.
No, I mean, this place is just so well done, and these drinks are just a part of the artistry that went into this whole place. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to dive into one of them, but I think we have other dishes coming out too. So now these are all entrees?
Yes. We have a couple appetizers.
We have a couple apps and a couple entrees.
You guys are wild.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
So right off the bat, in order to eat this much food, you have to be a professional athlete or something because these portions are wild.
Yeah.
All right, so let's dive in. Talk us where we at.
Excellent. So what we have here is our Cannonball Shrimp. We've actually got 300-year-old cannonballs that we cored out to put the shrimp inside. I'm totally kidding.
Of course you did.
Yeah, we did. We did.
So right here we have some 5160 shrimp, which is a generous amount of shrimp.
That's
and
a lot of shrimp.
In our Cannonball sauce, which is, if you're familiar with anything having to do with food or culinary world, it's kind of like our take on a firecracker sauce or like a boom boom sauce. Right. A little sweet, a little spicy, creamy, very, very good. Topped with bacon, sesame seeds, and green onion.
He's like salivating.
What?
This is our
this microphone is okay.
This is our gochujang chopstick wings. So this is a little bit of an Asian influence in this dish. So we take gochujang paste, which is somewhat like bitter, but at the same time spicy, very fermented tasting. But then we cream it with a little bit of our homemade barbecue sauce, as well as some ginger, green onion, a little bit of vinegar, and it really pops. It's like a sweet, tangy, spicy, glazed chicken wing.
Before we move on, I don't know which of these I would even start to eat.
All of
it. It's like the saying that a donkey put equidistant between two food sources would starve to death, deciding which one he would eat.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at right now.
And if we can see the scallop here, it's one of our most beautiful dishes. They're all insanely beautiful, but the plating,
the coloring and the plating is incredible.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things I like to do here at River and Fort is I play with texture, temperature. So I have hot and cold on the same dish, soft or you know, like almost like creamy, but then also like crunchy or bitter. You know, a lot of different things I do on each individual dish at the same time. For this dish, we use large diver scallops.
Yeah.
We have an aged Parmesan risotto, asparagus. Then I make a southern pickled corn chow chow on the very top, which is great. A tomato coulis finishes this dish.
Yeah, look at the vibrant color off of that.
Yeah. And the great sear. Our team here at River and Fort, from service to our culinary team, they're just
lights out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They're great.
Wow.
That's our showstopper, one of them,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's this monstrosity?
This is our stuffed aged New York strip.
Yeah.
So we have two giant
We're going to get
shrimp
B-roll shots of these for sure.
Yeah.
stuffed with our smoked Boursin cheese, which is like a herbed garlic, like semi-soft cream cheese mixture. We have a red wine and shallot butter on top, the wood fire grilled New York strip, and then the same aged Parmesan risotto underneath.
Got it. Okay. I think we saw something like this before that the gentleman got over there, and we said this. We all just looked at it, and we like stopped doing anything. We just like stared at it. We just didn't know what to do. This is absolutely incredible. So now you're sitting down, you're grabbing one of these. What are you diving into?
Honestly, all of it. When we sat together earlier and said, what do we want to send out? And you said one, and I went, one? I was like, you can't just do one.
There are literally so many different pockets of the culinary, map right here.
Right.
I mean,
our whole menu reflects that. Our whole menu is so
that's
vast
incredible.
and so many influences and so many great choices. That
I mean, you just so obviously we're a seafaring town. You've incorporated seafood, but you've done it so that it's not boring, tiring. It's the same thing. Oh, you can get that. Just go there. It's just as good. It's not. I mean, this is incredible.
Absolutely. We're really heavily influenced with Southern cuisine, but we take influences from around the world. I think that's what really makes our cuisine stand out, especially in the local area.
Yeah. This is absolutely incredible. I cannot thank you enough. We're going to sample this stuff in a minute, but I just want to say thank you guys so much. You ever guys are in town, if you're ever buying with us, you know exactly where to come for your celebratory closing dinner. It's River and Fort, right across the street from the Castillo de San Marco. Thank you both so much.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for having us. Thank you. Thank you.
See you guys.
We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
More of a manly drink. I got to drink the bourbon. All right. Anyway, thank you, Lexi, Lawrence. A huge thank you to River and Fort. These guys were absolutely incredible. Again, I know you guys bring, as a closing gift, you're going to bring people here.
For sure.
I know you're staying for dinner. Yeah. We're going to dive into this. Guys, thank you again. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers, River and Fort. Thank you.